and I'd got tinnitus, no. Tinnitus is a ear, no. That was a skin disease anyway, and I was in hospital for 6 weeks with that. And I got burnt badly by the medics there. They used to use gentian violet, and whether that was mixed too strong or what, but that stripped all my legs and wherever they treat me. Face was all burnt. I come home and that had been 6 weeks after, I suppose, being home. My mum, when I saw her, she couldn't believe, broke into tears because my face was all burnt. But the hair has all gradually, but that had all gone. Yeah. Gentian violet, I'm sure that was the stuff, but I can't remember the disease that I had. But one strange thing about that, I was down in a hospital in Hong Kong, and a new, very, very young doctor came out there, and there was a decision, because that was my time then for demob, and there was a decision had to be made as to whether I went home or whether I stayed in hospital, because this was very contagious anyway, whatever this was. And his wisdom, he said, the best thing for you to do is go home, we'll book you and give you a clear sheet. He said, as soon as you start having saltwater showers, he said, that'll all be gone. And he was absolutely true. Within days, saltwater showers killed that. And I'd been in a hospital which was basically right beside the beach almost. But nobody had ever said anything about that. I mean, probably the likes of you and I now. I mean, that used to be, when I was a young man, if anybody ever got poisoned, salt water was a treatment. Very painful, but that did the treatment, yeah.
What about Paladrine tablets and stuff? Do you remember the sort of, and salt?
Salt tablets we used to take, yeah, and this, whatever they were for mosquitoes and things like that. We took all that stuff, yeah.
Did you ever have dealings with the MASH? The MASH, the MASH hospitals?
No, never ever, never were anywhere near those, no. These were all English run hospital, or the one I went in Korea was an English run hospital, yeah.
Okay. About dentist?
No such thing. No, never went for a dentist. I don't think from the day I went in the army till I came out.
Were there any dogs with you?
No.
Whereabouts, you were very mobile as a pioneer. Whereabouts were you sleeping?
We just had dugouts in a row of trenches most of the time, depending what company you're with. If you were back in headquarters, that you would sleep in dugouts all the time that were dug into the rock wherever you were. Yeah.
Do you remember taking over from the Greeks?
No, Turks. I do remember taking over from them, and that was pretty hairy. They'd buried a lot of bodies just on top of the ground, covered it up with soil, and the place was lousy with rats. Yeah, and somebody had the task of burying them, I suppose. I don't know. I didn't have anything to do with that, but I do remember all these big mounds when we went and took over from them. And of course, one of the worst things there when I was in hospital, 2 Canadians in there had got Manchuria fever, which is just caught off rats, apparently. Whether that was the urine or the fleas off them, I don't remember. But both those Canadians died while I was in hospital. Yeah. I was telling you, at the end of the winter, when I finally took my sleeping bag to bits, they were in sort of 2 layers, and I took them out, and there'd been a rat had young in my sleeping bag and tipped them out on the floor.
There was live rats in the...
No, there had been, but they were dead because they'd at some time had the babes in there. And because I suppose when I used it, they went off and didn't come back, but the young rats were still in there, all dried out and lovely.
What about the Chinese and their buglers?
Their buglers, well, you could hear, you could hear them coming from miles away, as soon as they start to make a charge. However far you were back from the line, you could hear those bugles, Mostly that was done at night, of course, and it was quiet until all of a sudden all hell let loose. Yeah.
Do you ever remember being very scared over there?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's lots of times. One of the things that I think did shake me up quite a bit, we were driving back to the camp in an old 1500 weight, and that was through to like crevasse really, and a herd of deer jumped over the top, and because your mind go to the wrong thing right away, and that was one of the times. Another one was, we went swimming somewhere. There was only about 5 or 6 of us, I suppose, and a couple of engineers walked along with minesweepers. He said, if I was you, I would get out of here. He said, all this part is mined very heavily. There were still peasants there, and they still used to do their daily little thing, not right up near the front line, but our man, he used to have 2 houseboys, and I used to have to take them back to Seoul to see their family every now and again, and oh dear, what a life they had. Just one little mud hut and a fire in the middle, and Papa San smoking his big old pipe apiece, and all the kids sleeping all around, and that's the first time I ever remember seeing underfloor heating. Their kitchens were outside, and all as long ago as that, and all the heat from the fire used to go underneath the floor and out a vent the other side, and you sat down on the floor, and that was warm. Yeah.
Okay. What about R&R?
Yeah, I went over for 5 days to Japan. Yeah. Come home very clean and healthy, so I didn't get into any trouble. Sorry, I don't know whether that should be on there or not. No. I suppose before you went, you were told not to drink a lot of the old rice wine. I remember that, because that wasn't wonderfully healthy stuff and very strong, of course. But I don't know that, the hotels, although there was an hour camp, but if you went to a hotel, the girls were lined up in a counter, and you selected which one you want, and she was the one who looked after you for the night or the 2 nights or whatever you stopped there. Yeah. And they'd all got little badges of health on them, where they'd been to the hospital and got checks, identity cards, and the Japanese were something else, weren't they? Little dolls, weren't they? Yeah, little dolls.
Good.
And very hot-blooded.
Do you want me to put this on the DVD?
No, because you don't. It don't bother me. It don't bother me. No, I want you to put down what you think is all part of your story.
I'm just thinking about your personal copy of the
DVD. Yeah.
That'd be for your family. Do you want that?
I don't mind at all that.
Good.
No, I don't. No.
Okay.
If you don't tell the truth in life, what's the point of having a life?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why go lying about what? Yeah.
Do you ever remember seeing the barrage balloon over Pyongyang?
No, I don't.
Last question, last but one.
What? Yeah.
Propaganda and the Chinese as a an enemy in terms of what they were trying
to
do.
do.
Remember the propaganda and stuff.